It's a frozen January morning in Niagara, and grapes are still hanging on the vine. Months after the harvest is completed in other regions, these grapes await their moment. Naturally dehydrating through cycles of freezing and thawing, they're concentrating their flavors by the day. These grapes are reserved for Ontario's rarest and most prized wine.
We now are known as the place on the planet to make ice wine. We're the experts, we make the most of it, and we make the best there is. We routinely come away from competitions with all the medals.
Ice wine is our ambassador. It opens the door. And the reason it has been accepted, first of all, it's excellent and we do it better than anyone else in the world. But it makes sense. Ice wine, Canada? Yeah, I get it.
This is a great way to spend an afternoon, eh? We talked about Canadian winters and how bad they are. In wine country, I love to watch people embracing the winter, taking in the Ice Wine Festival, and celebrating the idea of a winter harvest.
The skin is very, very thick on it, so the thick skin on this, again, will allow it to stay longer.
Ontario's wine country really turns up the hospitality to celebrate winter's gift. While other regions rest, winemakers in Ontario keep a careful eye on the thermometer for that magical moment when it reaches -8°C. The grapes are pressed in a frozen state, extracting the rich juice and leaving water content behind with the frozen skins. The result is a highly concentrated ice wine, sweet and intensely flavored, brought into perfect balance with its natural acidity. It's certain that ice wine brought Ontario to the world stage and to the attention of international winemakers.
So this is the last of the harvest coming in?
Absolutely. Now they come from around the world for the challenge, the cool climate experience, and the opportunity to express Ontario's unique terroir.
It's wonderful because there is a lot of potential. There is great potential for research and development. The public is finally recognizing the quality of the wines we make here in Canada. All that makes a great ambience and a great challenge to work with.
Every producer accepts the challenges of growing grapes in Ontario. They recognize they're competing with imports from around the world. In order to produce fine wine worthy of VQA accreditation, producers have to utilize the best techniques and equipment available.
From my perspective, what I've tried to do is combine some great technology, but keep a lot of the great traditional techniques. Things like gravity flow, like you think about moving wines.
Whether it's gravity flow, advanced weather tracking, wind machines, hand sorting of fruit, or innovative cellar techniques for increasing aroma, Ontario's winemakers incorporate the best technologies available.
Because we have so many challenges in Ontario to face on a yearly basis, we have a number of problems and we have to work through them collectively as a group to be able to learn how to keep our grape growing sustainable.
But it's not like a reason.
Working as a group also meant planning for the future. The industry recognized the need to develop local talent to fill specialized positions in new wineries throughout Ontario. This meant moving beyond the vineyard and into education.
This is Covey, the Cool Climate, Enology and Viticulture Institute at Brock University in St. Catharines. It was opened in 1996 to meet a growing industry demand who were looking for talented winemakers and viticulturalists specially trained in cool climate production.
Prior to the arrival of Covey and the teaching winery at nearby Niagara College, the industry relied mainly on the experience of local winemakers and growers. These new educational facilities brought leading-edge research and training to this specialized field.
They're putting out some unbelievably talented graduates who, are passionate about our industry. And it's great that they're developing homegrown talent to be able to come and work in the vineyards, work in the wineries.
Our phone rings every day from countries that you wouldn't expect. South Africa, California. The Cool Climate Enology and Viticulture Institute is the only cool climate wine institute in the world. So we are the leader, and people come to us for the answers.
So we're going to try some Riesling? We're going to try a Riesling today. It's our 2003. It's from local grapes right by the winery.
Well, most winemakers I know describe what they do more as a lifestyle than a job. They also know that the easiest way to sell their product is to get people down to wine country and let them experience this lifestyle for themselves. This marketing concept is catching on globally. It's known as agritourism.
We have restaurants, we have hotels, we have tours, tastings, festivals, so many things that bring people down here, and more we're getting traffic.
I think they see the enthusiasm the Ontario wine industry is generating, and I think it's contagious.
Not ready yet?
Don't get too far ahead here because
I've seen the food and wine industry evolve greatly over the last number of years. The wine industry has sort of led the charge, and with their direction and constant search for self-improvement and recognition on the world stage, they've pushed themselves, and with that comes the need for good quality food.
This demand for quality food found a natural ally in the Niagara Culinary Institute. It's been working with the industry, developing programs that teach students all about regional cuisine.
Well, here at the college we have a unique setting. We have the culinary end, we have the horticulture end, and we also have our viticulture program.
And you can sort of pick up the acidity. It comes here on the sides.
It's important to learn in an environment that fosters a respect for ingredients.
This is our 2004 Warren Classic Chardonnay. It's all bottled, pressed, and grown right here at Niagara College.
When they're learning about wine, it's not this far off, distant, romantic notion that's across the ocean and 15 hours away from here. They know very well that sometimes they're tasting wine that was made on site, and even better than that, the grapes were grown 100 meters away.
Who eliminates glass number 1? Please hands up.
For me, winemaking is an art form. It's an ability to express a sense of place, a single growing season in a glass. It's a long process, one that's brought to life by the passion of Ontario winemakers.
It's really the love of wine, the passion that goes into that bottle. It's unlike any other product, and the passion that people, that I have, that other people in Ontario have for making a great bottle of wine comes out when people get to enjoy it.
You've really done a great job with this building.
There is a lot of passion in Ontario. It's a great group of people here in Ontario, exciting, very committed to producing world-class wines. It's that bottle at the end of the process, whether it takes anywhere, from 6 months to 5 years to produce it. It's the quality at the end of that. It's seeing the excitement in the consumer's eyes.
We're creating interesting, unique products that express Canada, that express Ontario. And I think they feel that, and more they're discovering that. And it's something that people in the old world take for granted.
The wine regions of Ontario are spectacular and home to some of the finest cool climate wines in the world. And the best way to experience them is to come and discover them for yourself. Taste the fruit, meet the winemaker, and immerse yourself in the experience that is Ontario wine.
I think we'll